Hi,
Hi,
Chef.
welcome to Nadu. Come.
Chef, tell me first of all, what is the story behind this aesthetic?
This is the rammed earth.
Okay.
So both are rammed earth, but the textures are different.
Mm-hmm.
And in olden days, it was called the redoxide
Okay.
in our homes.
And
So it's
what is this?
if you see, it denotes 5 elements of nature.
Okay.
Nadu's representation. So if you see, this is for the water body. So it denotes water.
Okay.
Those ones on the corner, which has got sun rays, that is the sun. The center is earth, the space, and the fire.
Oh.
So that's how the 5 elements of nature have been represented in Nadu.
And what does this word Nadu mean?
Nadu means a region or a place, and also in the ancient Tamil it means to seek. Nadu. Means
So here diners are seeking good flavors. Good
food.
flavors.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to The Print. This is Triya Gulati and with me today is Chef Bala, partner chef at Nadu. If you are not living under the rock, you would know that Nadu has become the new big thing in Delhi NCR, Delhi and Gurgaon especially. Chef, first of all, congratulations
Thank you
on
so much.
you just recently opened a week back in Gurgaon as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Talk to me about Nadu. How are you changing South Indian food's image in Delhi NCR?
Very simple, beyond idli and dosa.
Okay.
So if you see our menu, we don't have a elaborate dosa menu or an idli menu. We have only one podi idli and one dosa, which is called the kal dosa, which is a bread for all the curries.
Okay.
So these are the things we have in our menu when it comes to idli and dosa. That also, just to give a tip of the iceberg kind of a feel that this should be
So
there.
what is Nadu offering to Delhiites?
Means a region. Nadu is also means search in ancient Tamil. So for us, the search ends in Nadu for good food from the southern region, and which is beyond idli and dosa, and the food which is the commonly eaten food in all the 5 states there.
Okay.
So that is what we want to showcase in Nadu.
So
It's a mission actually.
so when customers come in, I mean,
Yeah.
this outlet you opened somewhere in March.
March 27th.
So now that customers come in, do they come seeking for idli, sambar, dosa?
Yeah, every day they come seeking for it.
And what do you tell them then?
The stereotypical that we are beyond idli and dosa, and now that our service team is totally trained to handle the people patiently and tell them that try this, try that, and now the acceptance is there. Like compared to the day we started to now, I'm seeing a progress.
Chef, before we go inside the kitchen and see how it is working and talk in depth about the dishes that you serve at Nadu, I want to first understand your journey.
Yeah.
You have studied law.
Yeah,
From a lawyer to a chef to a partner chef, how was this journey like?
See, actually, more than the law side, my work in the accounts and finance, because I'm a qualified chartered accountant, company secretary, and a law graduate.
Wow.
And then I have 2 diplomas also in quality control called the Six Sigma, and I also have a diploma in arbitration management.
Oh.
So these are the academical qualifications.
So, from in middle of all of this academical thing, where did something as creative as food
I've been
and being a
cooking
chef?
from the age of 9, and that is something everyone probably in our family does. So in our family, my mother's side, there's no differentiation between a boy and a girl. Boys also taught food.
Okay.
So in my mother's side, so my brother is as good as me when it comes to food,
When it
cooking
comes to
food.
cooking.
So we've all been inculcated into food at a very young age, and by 16 I could do even a complicated dessert like called jangri. I think it's called the imarti here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's very complicated. So I can do that also. So from the age of 9, I've been cooking, and I used to always hijack my mom's kitchen
Hmm.
and not let her cook. I'll take the kitchen and cook, and she'll be irritated because I won't let her inside the kitchen.
Kitchen.
I'll close the door and I'll start cooking. So she got little annoyed and she wanted to let me go off her kitchen. Okay, so she said, "Why don't you become a hotel cook?" She didn't know the word hotel chef existed, so
Yeah.
we could not connect her to any of the field. So she said, "Become a hotel cook." I also said, "Yeah, that's a nice thing." And I also wanted to escape CA because family of CAs and all rank
How
holders.
old were you at the time?
Like as soon as I finished my 12th.
Okay.
So see, CA is waiting,
Yeah.
and as soon as I finished 12th, she gave this idea, and I was supposed to join a law integrated course or a graduation. So I was in the mixed of this, and that's when she threw this idea on me, and I was very happy. So I didn't even know where to go. How do we become a hotel cook?
Hotel cook.
So that's when somehow I'm talking about the Stone Age, which is pre-Google.
Pre-Google.
Pre-Google is Stone Age.
Hmm.
So that's I know you hit upon someone, and then they said there is something called a IHM in Chennai.
Okay.
So I took my friend and went there, and I said, but my mom said it has to be a vegetarian course because I'm from a very orthodox
Oh,
family,
okay.
and so I went and asked for an application form. We were clueless,
Yeah.
totally clueless, and I said, give me a application form for vegetarian IHM.
Okay.
They said there is nothing called a vegetarian course here. In fact, they were so happy to tease me. They said the first thing you will be asked to do is butchery. And I was so thrilled. I came home and I told my mom that I can go and join this place, but I have to write entrance exams and all. And
Did you tell her that?
yeah, I had to tell her. I had to tell her, and I was very happily saying that I'll be put in butchery. So that was the end of the proper training in food, and she said nothing doing. So I got into the integrated CA course of graduation CA. All that happened, and it so happened immediately after her passing away. I lost my parents one after the other in a very short span. So I was also going through some mental issues of not able to concentrate on CA work. So um, immediately after her passing away, I met Chef Ashish Basin in online platform Twitter,
Hmm.
and through him I got into a five-star hotel and did my first pop-up.
Oh.
The reason is I challenged and I told him that the Indian food, the way the Indian food is looking at the southern Indian food is very, very stereotypical and cliched. And I didn't know he was a Punjabi. I said, you cannot keep on giving Punjabi food in the name of Indian food. It's a very minuscule portion of the Indian food, and our food is this. He said, you can refer someone, I can work with him. I said, why would I refer someone? I will come and cook. So that's how the whole thing started, and I
What
presented a
What were
case.
the things you cooked at your first pop-up?
First pop-up was a vegetarian pop-up, of course, and I did all the forgotten recipes from regions of South.
Oh.
Like there is a place called Kumbakonam, the place where my parents belong to. So I took recipes from there, from Andhra, Vizag region. I know all those, and like that I have picked Thrissur. I have
Yeah.
picked up those food which are not commonly available in the commercial kitchens, but which are commonly eaten in the homes. So it was that particular pop-up was classified as a rustic food. the first pop-up of mine, they all said it's a very very rustic food. But probably to a third day 3 or day 4 of the pop-up, I also understood what is the pulse of the audience, and I tweaked the food. I said no, I shouldn't go too rustic. What is common to us is totally unheard in the public domain.
Public domain.
So I refined myself, and then we corrected few things, gave a different curries. What I had planned and I had come on spot, I had to change. So
Right.
that's how I started off. And he was the one who also made me. He said, "You're definitely having the knack to be a commercial chef. So get into it seriously and start your non-veg journey also."
Okay.
So again, I spoke to my husband, and he said that he didn't have any issues with it. I said no problem. So I took 6 months. I started traveling across all the 4 states and picked up all the non-vegetarian curries because I've never had an issue of cooking it at all.
Do you
So
eat it?
I taste now. I taste all the curries, but as a meal, I'm still
You're still getting there.
yeah, there. So I don't have a problem. Like for instance, while lobster to everything, I teach also in the culinary colleges. So I know everything about. In fact, I know the theory part of fish also. If you say East Coast or a West Coast, I can tell you how big a fish can come out of that food.
Oh.
Yeah, because I've read a lot about fish. I didn't take classes in the universities. So I've gone into that extent, all self-taught.
But chef, starting your journey in Chennai, you even did a small, you even run a small restaurant
had a
in,
tuck
in
shop, yeah.
tuck shop in
Yeah.
a mall. So why Delhi now?
Probably Delhi was always calling me, calling from the year 19.
Okay.
So I used to come, I'll do a recce, and I'll see if I've got had partners. Then I'll have a meeting with them, and something while you're talking, sitting across and talking, I felt the chemistry doesn't work. I've gone back. Luckily, touch
This
wood,
time it
yes,
worked.
yes, it worked.
So why, since you said since 90s Delhi was calling you and you have been in talks a couple of times. So when you would come to Delhi and you would of course go out for a meal
Yeah,
and try
yeah.
South Indian food, what were certain stereotypes that you faced South Indian food had in Delhi?
Actually, non-vegetarian restaurant was practically zero in 19, if you see. One or two, but not very well-known brands. At least now we have few well-known brands. While we came with Nadu, the concept Nadu, we already had few well-known brands operating in Delhi. But in 19, there was practically nothing when I came for my first recce with the other probable partner whom we should have worked.
How we spoke about how South Indian food is all about idli, sambar, dosa,
Yeah,
right? Uh, Other than this, what other stereotypes do you think it are attached to South Indian food that you want to break with Nadu?
main first and foremost is non-vegetarian. The moment they see a menu card, they are like a little shocked. People who are still not glued to South, who have not traveled to South or not heard, or they are only exposed to the badly done Bollywood.
Right.
So South representation in the Bollywood. Those people, when they come and see the menu, first is a shocker for them that so many non-vegetarian curries, and to be I don't know if you want to put it, a Nat Geo dead on the menu card. Discovery Channel and Nat Geo dead in the menu.
Well, I'm
So-
sure through Nadu they are exploring a new side of Southern India which has existed.
Yeah, always existing.
Always existed.
Always existing.
Yeah.
See, like for instance, I have a very close friend of mine from whom I've learned the Syrian Christian food. For him, his meal in Chennai has to start with a band meet in Delhi with the breads. You know, it
Right.
could be an idiyappam or an appam, kallappam, all that, and he will have the band meat curry, which will be made in the chatti, the pot.
Yeah.
So he's a very close friend of mine. So if I go to his house, that will be his first meal.
Meal.
The breakfast will be that. So that is it is his food.
Yeah. Also, different region of southern India has different flavor profile. Even if you just talk about something as simple as a gunpowder,
Yeah,
every region has a different kind of like
gunpowder.
of gunpowder. So how, like, if I talk about Nadu, how did you bring?
It was very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. In fact, my partner Sahil keeps on telling me that the first menu I gave him was it had 400 items. It is actually not even 10% of the menu. It is the truth.
Yeah.
Just imagine Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Keralam, I have to call it
Keralam.
Keralam now. And then Andhra has become Seemandhra, and then Telangana, and then Karnataka. And then you have Union Territory of Pondicherry, Lakshadweep, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. That also will come into us because the geo ethnicity is common for all these
Yeah.
things also. So there is no dearth for food from southern
And
India.
they're so like, I personally feel it is southern Indian food is so less explored. People don't know
No,
about
no,
it.
no. You can never.
I
See,
mean, we
in
have
my
not even
lifetime,
scratched the surface.
no, no. In my lifetime, I cannot say I've learned southern Indian food. So definitely, somebody else has to continue my journey. So much to be explored. You can only do a tribal cuisine. Okay, you can only do coastal. You can only do arid regions of south.
Right.
You can only do mountain regions of south. You can do forest food.
So at Nadu, what are you doing?
We are doing right now. This is phase one of Nadu, where we have done popular food of
Okay.
the southern Indian states.
Okay.
So from 400 we brought it down to 250. From 250, right now in the menu we have 58 items.
58 items across starters, main
Yeah, yeah,
course,
yeah.
and dessert. You know, when we talk about South Indian food, we talk about food, but little do people speak about the beverages.
Yes.
What's there? What's on the menu?
So, first and foremost, again, just like non-vegetarian consumption is really heavy in South, alcohol is also very, very prevalent in South. And what we have done here is we have a very interesting bar menu. The cocktails are 5 cocktails.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay, 5 states and 5 cocktails.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And what we have done is from each state, one ingredient is getting into the menu. So we have done that. And we also have a exclusive kapi bar. It is not coffee, the
Kapi
kapi,
bar.
the way we pronounce it in South, it's called the kapi bar. The first, again, 5 menus you get in kapi. The first one is my father's kapi, which is called the first dose,
Okay.
which is a filter coffee. The
Okay.
proper milk decoction, little sugar and a bitter filter coffee. Then the second one is my partner Sahil's mother's recipe, which is called the Chilmadi,
Okay.
and that has got jaggery and coffee.
Okay.
It's served cold. And then we have Kerala version, like the Cheru Kapi.
I want to ask you about how does it feel like living in Delhi? What are the certain challenges you face here?
Only problem is DDA apartments.
I bet you parking is
Yeah, yeah.
quite a task.
So I find it very miserable as to why people have to fight
Parking.
when we can live amicably.
Right.
So in fact, my partner was very hassle that finally this lady somehow she should manage and get an apartment here. So finally, when I liked apartment. He said, take it, take it, take it. Because the broker said there is parking in this apartment. It's a huge complex on a main road. And he said, the broker said, this apartment has a parking. And see, you don't go and they show it, we assume it is there. You don't, I didn't know that you should.
You should always.
Go and
Yeah.
market your
Yes.
market and all of it. So I moved in there, and later on came to know first come first serve. It's a FIFO basis.
But that is something you'll find, like that problem you'll find across Delhi. No, it's not restricted about your society.
Oh my god!
You go
Okay.
anywhere, and parking is definitely a big
No,
challenge.
like there are certain houses in the same complex who have got 4 cars. They are because they have come first in the night.
Yeah.
They get to park all their 4 cars.
Other than that, how is it to live in Delhi for you?
I don't have any other issue. No more.
Weather?
Weather, yeah, I'm getting used to it.
You're getting
The
used
dry.
to
And one more very, I would say the housewife issue I have is there is a thin layer of dust in the floor. I don't know why. That is something which you sweep and go in the morning. I don't have a maid. I do all my chores. So when I go back home, like right now after finishing the restaurant work, when I go at night, say 12, 12:30, when I step in, first thing I'll see is
Dust.
the dust.
That is something you're
That
struggling
is,
with. Yeah.
yeah, that is something which I'm getting used to it. Which I'm not. Probably that is because of the lack of humidity. I'm from a place where there is sea, Chennai, and humidity. The sand settles, I guess, on the
You know the
flooring.
luxury to like whenever you want, just for a change of mind, you can walk to the sea, spend some time there.
Yeah.
How does it feel like living in a landlocked area?
No, I don't have time. Actually, the truth is, right now, back to back, the projects have been lined up. So I don't have time to socialize or go out and see. So probably once things settle, then I will explore Delhi because the
So you
Delhi.
haven't explored
No,
Delhi?
no,
Have you
no.
explored Delhi food?
Delhi food I've done prior to becoming a partner in Nadu.
Oh.
So when I was a
What are your favorite areas? What are your favorite
I
spots?
like street food. I have to have the greasy street food.
Where which
My
street food?
friend Rajesh Tara takes me around, so he will select the place.
Okay.
So we have done random places. Random places means random places.
Purani Delhi ka khana bhi?
Everything I've done.
Everything you've
Yeah,
done.
yeah. Chandni Chowk.
Yeah.
We have tasted the Nalli Nihari early morning. See, our food, food is destination for us, and it's a mission.
Yeah.
So we don't have time limits and all. 6 o'clock also we have met in the morning. 7 o'clock we have met in the morning, because certain places there'll be line after 7:10 also.
Yeah.
If you're the first person, you get that. So we in fact we had place where they was giving us Nalli Nihari at a very early. So we had to assemble at 6:45 or somewhere.
Wow.
Both of us used to meet, and that during pop-ups, of course.
During pop-ups, yeah.
So when I come here for a pop-up, so whichever place I am, he will plan it, and he'll tell me I'll go there, and I've tasted Nalli Nihari. Then I've tasted almost all possible charts and the Delhi food in Chandni Chowk. Then he has even taken me to a Kolkata chaat here. So like that, he will take me.
Which is that one place or that one dish here which makes you feel closer to your house?
Rather than that, the most comforting food for me is chole.
Chole. Do you eat with bhature? Chole
Yeah,
bhature?
bhature,
Okay.
bhature. I don't have any problem with maida or gluten. So I
Full
can
gluten, full
yeah,
maida.
yeah, all.
So chole bhature is your
Yeah.
go-to.
So that is something I would want to eat here.
Okay.
Yeah. So see, when it comes to South food in North, I'll be little opinionated rather than telling it's wrong, it's bad. Why to come and eat here when I have my food in abundance in South? Come here, eat the local food
Local
here.
food, yeah.
My elder one used to have this issue. Whenever we go on a vacation, the moment she sees idli in Dehradun, Koshali, Nainital, she'll go and eat idli. I'll tell her, no, that's a wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
You cannot go and eat idli there. Eat the local food.
Yeah.
Be a local when you are in that city. So I would skip my south food when I'm in Delhi during my pop-ups and eat the local food, enjoy it. And in fact, I've had Ram Laddu in India Gate.
Yeah. It's quite a thing.
Yes.
You go to Sarojini Nagar market or you go to India
Yeah, yeah,
Gate,
yeah.
you have to have Ram Laddu.
So when in between Sarojini and INA, I have to have one Ram Laddu.
One Ram Laddu. That's interesting. So you have become like a Delhiite.
Delhi, yes.
Part of you has become when in
Yeah.
Delhi you are a Delhiite.
Delhi, yeah. So when you're here, have the local food. So I've had best lassi, and then as I told you, the nihari we have had here. Then we have had one interesting, not a chole, but it's a made with arhar dal, but the whole one. It is not broken.
Ah, yeah.
It is cooked with that.
Yes.
So he took me even to that place and I had that. So Delhi food as
But
such.
chef, now you know that when you go out and you try these dishes, you not only you understand the flavor of the food, but you then also understand that this is the palate of the people here.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So when you started Nadu, and you have been coming to Delhi for
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the years, you have been trying food. So when you opened Nadu, did you factor in that I have to cater to a certain palate?
See, that's why that is something which I consciously told Mr. Sahil that I will not bring down the spice first. Let's see. Let's see how the guests are receptive or they are having an issue with our food. Let's try. See, when they have not been exposed to South food at all, and we cannot assume they cannot take spice. My other thing is my so much of street food I've had. The street food is spicy.
It's spicy,
It is
yeah, of
spicy,
course, yes.
and they even give you green chili.
Green chili.
Okay, and I've seen people having a green chili. When you can have a green chili with a chole and have it, which means they are able to accept
Handle that amount of spice, yeah.
Handle that, and it's not that our food is super spicy. No, there is again a myth. There is again a myth that Andhra food is super spicy,
yes.
which is a wrong thing to say. The reason being, Andhra also has several regions. There are certain regions where the spice levels are high. Overall, yes, compared to Karnataka, Andhra spice levels are high. But it doesn't mean that it is not at all palatable. No. Certain restaurants have made so-called Andhra food as very unpalatable food.
Yeah.
Even in South, I would say certain restaurants have made, they will call themselves Andhra food. So and so name and then an Andhra food. And the way they have made the food is super spicy. No. That again is a wrong representation of Andhra. There are certain coastal cities of Andhra, and there are several rivers in Andhra, and those places, if you see, their spice levels are very low, as equal to South Kerala spice levels, because of the coast and the rivers, and intake of coconut in those regions are very heavy.
You spoke about Andhra, and I cannot not ask you about biryani.
Yeah.
So there's another, if people move beyond idli, sambar, dosa, the next they think is biryani.
Biryani.
So what kinds of biryani, like first, do you serve biryani at Nadu?
Yeah, we are actually there again. I'm a little disappointed that I'm able to do only 2 biryanis here.
What are the 2 biryanis
We
that
are
you
doing donne biryani because Sahil loves donne biryani. And the other biryani I am doing from the Malabar region, because it is that biryani itself is history, pot of history.
Okay.
We are serving it in a culture tea, which is a stone pot. And I say Malabar biryani is a pot of history
Okay.
because of the Arab influence, why these ingredients are added to that biryani, how the layering came. So that is part of history.
But only
So,
two biryani.
only two biryanis. Otherwise, if you see, biryani culture is too much in South.
Yeah.
Very, very much in South. Sunday and biryani cannot be separated in South. So, as early as 5 o'clock, you can have biryani. Hoskote and all, you can have a biryani at 5 o'clock in the morning. You can
Wow,
go to
5 a.m.
Hoskote. Yeah, 5 a.m. you can go and have a biryani in Hoskote,
Okay.
in Karnataka.
When you went customers, so first of all, what was the early feedback you got when you opened Nadu, when people came in?
The day before opening Nadu, we had benne dosa in the menu. Overnight, we removed benne dosa from the menu. So the day before opening the official inauguration, on the 26th, we had about 50 walk-ins because we were ready, and we said, okay, let's have walk-ins. And they all saw the page where benne dosa was, and non-stop ordering benne dosa, non-stop ordering benne dosa. We had close to 50, we were almost touching 60 orders of benne dosa that day.
Wow.
Only that.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Like there's few curries here and there, but it went into benne dosa, and they started giving us masala dosa. They got into the stereotypical
Yeah.
thing of putting us into a benne thing, and I freaked out. I really freaked out. I said, should I pack my bags and go back?
Because they will just keep ordering benne dosa. So you removed them
we
removed it from the
we
menu.
removed benne dosa and we removed that
But
idli.
did you not feel that there was also a risk?
No, that I knew about. See, you should have the confidence in you.
And
I
in your
knew about-
food, and in your flavors,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. So that I knew. And I said, how do you make them aware of it is by removing it and saying, when it is not available, if it is available, they are going to order that only. The mission for us is beyond idli and dosa. So when that is your mission, you are going against your mission statement. So I removed it from the, and thankfully, Sahil also accepted to it. Immediately that night, at 10:30, we decided 12 o'clock, we woke the printer.
And
Because the
removed
next
benne
day-
dosa from the
next
menu.
day, we had to have a revised menu, and the next day morning, we had the revised printed menu with us.
And then when people came in and they ordered, other dishes which probably they did not know about, and I'm sure a lot of customers, because I feel that in Delhi, diners have started asking questions that, okay, what is the history behind this dish? Why am I eating this? What has gone in this dish? So, do you also encounter those questions where you have to go to the table and explain them? Okay, this is from this region.
That is still not there. Right now, they are all in the phase of exploring flavors, because each item tastes different. Because there are several masalas which go into making
But
them.
how do you understand? Like, for example, they don't know about the dishes that you are offering. So when a customer walks in, do the servers go and ask that, what kind of flavors are you looking for? What do you want?
See, the training has been very, very intense. In fact, in my kitchen, you will not, there is no chef from southern India.
Oh,
Yeah. So I have only starting from my executive chef to everybody till the helper. They're all from all the other regions of north part of Delhi. Sorry, north of India.
how long did it take you to train them?
About
The whole team?
Yeah, whole team. The entire training program was very intense training program of 90 days.
90 days.
90 days of intense training. Intense means intense. It was like a school for them. So
Were you like a dictator?
I'm always, see, the CA in me makes me a dictator.
Right.
Yeah,
So like, would you like wake them up at 5 a.m. and like, you know, start chopping?
No, they are given it is a mission.
Okay.
The prep, they will have to do a misa. They'll have to be ready with those things, and 7 o'clock they'll be allowed to go home in the night.
Are you
So
also very particular about
I'm
how
very,
to
very
cut the
yeah, yeah.
meat and all?
Yeah.
What cuts?
Too much. So that again, I'm too particular. The reason being, for me, I'm not formally trained in the culinary school. Whatever training I've had is from the women, and when it comes to them, what happens is they will cut a meat in a particular way in their homes, and I want it that way. And all my curry, all the starters are boneless, all the curries are with bone.
Okay.
So what they have taught me, I'm their torch bearer.
You're passing it on.
Yeah. And when it comes to the curry cuts and the meat cuts, I'm very, very, very particular. Very particular means very particular.
Can we say that Nadu is like, you know, you said that in your first pop up in Delhi, they said that her food is too rustic.
Yeah.
So
No, not in Delhi, it was in Bombay.
in Bombay. So they said that your food was very rustic,
Rustic.
right? The first pop up, right? So with Nadu, all these years later, would it be safe to say that what you are bringing here, what you're offering to Delhi NCR now, is a much more elevated and refined South Indian food?
Totally. From where I started to now, I have undergone a
Massive change,
massive change. Let's say, like we say, no, malleable and ductile. So I've gone through that
Malleable and ductile
process.
Yeah.
I have been beaten and rolled.